Well, there are big developments in the Ukraine peace saga, with Donald Trump turning the heat up on Ukraine just as the administration tries to force movement on a Thanksgiving deadline. That's joining us now is Sky News contributor Kosha Gada. Kosha, Trump says he wants Ukraine to accept this by Thanksgiving, but again, the issue still remains, as always, territory.
Yes, it does. And this plan, the way we understand it from the way it's been reported right now, is there are full territorial concessions that Ukraine would have to accept and that Russia gets to keep. Other things like amnesty for alleged war crimes and the need for Ukraine to conduct elections within 100 days are all sort of the other pieces of it, maybe less important than territory, but that are seen to be very favorable to the Russian side of the ledger. On the flip side, while Ukraine would have to renounce NATO membership, which was a big point, throughout the saga, they would receive Western-backed security guarantees, which I have to say a lot of people in Trump's base are not very happy with. They don't see that as America first. They see it as very dangerous, that it's going to get America sucked into potentially another quagmire. So that's kind of where this sits. Russia reportedly is cautiously favorable to the framework, and Ukraine isn't, and that's why I think he's putting that pressure out there because, he's facing a lot of pressure from the base. President Trump is. He does not believe that the risk-benefit trade-off makes sense for Ukraine to continue prolonging this war, and that's why he's trying to really push them. But, we shall see if this deadline is met. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see where this develops. Over in New York, the reality of Mamdani, who hasn't officially started yet, is now setting in. I mean, we saw these horrific protests outside a Manhattan synagogue. People were screaming, "Death to the IDF, globalize the Intifada." Have a quick look. But his first instinct, Mamdani's, wasn't to condemn the harassment, but actually to have a swipe at the synagogue. His spokesperson said that every New Yorker should be free to enter a house of worship without intimidation, and that these sacred spaces should not be used to promote activities in violation of international law. I mean, Kosha, how on earth does a mayor-elect look at intimidation outside a synagogue and decide the synagogue's the problem? They say when someone tells you who they are, believe them. I think he has been saying that all throughout the campaign, and we're now getting a glimpse of what governance is going to look like, not just campaigning from him. And I don't think, that's going to change. He tries to sort of play both sides. I know he gave a different comment later that was a little bit walking that back. But I don't think it's by accident. I think this sort of, shows how he feels. We've discussed before the results of the election, though, in the electorate. Something like 30 to 35% of the Jewish population in New York, which is the biggest diaspora of the Jewish population outside of Israel, did vote for him, and in exceeding numbers, over 50% among the younger crowd, under 45. So I wonder if they're having any buyer's remorse, or if they, didn't really understand the issue, and as these types of things happen more, how they might feel about it. But unfortunately, the city is now stuck with him for 4 years. Yeah, shocking decision for any Jew to have supported him. Over in the UK, police are now investigating whether Andrew asked for his own protection officers to dig up dirt on Virginia Guthrie. This was in 2011. Now, the Metropolitan Police are reportedly seeking emails, phone records and the notepads of officers who worked with Andrew. How serious is this for him, Kosha? It doesn't look great, and a lot of people are noticing that all this seems to be happening now, right around when he's lost his royal status and the royal shield, if you will, with his titles and all the rest of it being stripped. So it feels like he's twisting in the wind a little bit. This is just a probe, and reportedly the Metropolitan Police is going to decide if they're going to turn it into a full-scale formal investigation by Christmas this year. So there's a little bit more room to see if they drop this or not, but it doesn't look good. It's coinciding with all the congressional testimony requests that are coming his way from the U.S. Congress. Of course, the Epstein story keeps coming back into the news media, and it's not a good look for him, for sure. So hopefully he can avoid legal jeopardy insofar as it's relating to misconduct and misuse of taxpayer funds and that sort of thing. But reputationally, I think he clearly is in tatters. Kosha Gada, thank you so much, as always, for your insights.